Welcome to the Player Supreme Show here at ZenMac.com. I am your host, Player Supreme.
Yeah, it's the jump smokers with the stewie, ooey, ooey.
No one has ever done anything like this.
Yeah, fellas, I was looking for my original book, The Pimp Game, and I found another book that I had. I think my boy Craig had bought The American Pimp, Book 1 by Rosebud. And he has some rules to become a master player. Number one, he says, be cold. A master pimp has got to have the ability to be as cold as necessary. He must be able to go from being ice to being an iceberg. You dig? Now, I'm an African American. I'm not a dumb society person. I'm familiar with what he's talking about, except in the game as a actual, at the player level, this won't work for you. Okay? He's talking about the pimp game, of course. But we can learn from that. What we learn from that is to make sure that we keep our heart in check. And when it's time to be cold to a female, we got to be cold. Most of you guys are just normal guys. You're trying to learn some game from me. You're running around dating these chicks, if you're even dating. And you get in situations where, you know, your heart gets all fluttery. She does something that makes you nut up. And that's where this lesson comes in. That's where you've got to be iceberg. Like you find out she's sleeping with someone else. You've got to be like ice. You got to go, he says, go from being ice to being an iceberg. You've got to be ice. Basically, you got to learn to control yourself like a man. Okay? Number two, a pimp has got to be able to take the information at hand. A pimp has got to be able to take, it's the letter I, the information at hand. If a pimp don't start learning from the get-go, he's in for a long, hard haul to the bottom of the heap. A real master pimp or potential master loves the challenge that new thoughts and new game brings. We've seen the hard-headed, the pun. We've seen the ignorant. I'm just going to take some of Supreme stuff. I'm going to keep on hoe chasing. We've seen those people. And what did they end up doing? They end up living a hard, long haul to the bottom of their lives, desperate. Every time I see the pun post a, what should I do post, I only shake my head. Because he didn't master himself. Sorry, the pun. Every time I think of that, I think of you. You either take what I'm saying and live it, or you should go somewhere else. Sorry to put it like that, but the people that take what I say and live it, Grease, hand to hand, they become very successful. DJ Dan and many others. If you follow my videos, you've seen the numerous mail after mail after mail thank me for the direction. Those are people that listened to what I had to say and applied it. It's kind of funny when I see people still struggling. They're Nate, for example. They don't listen. They didn't do what I said do. Number three, a pimp has to be able to make sense out of nonsense, and that is so true. If a pimp doesn't make sense out of something, has jumped off wrong, and make that shit right, he's going to lose a lot of hoes. Because shit don't always happen by the book. A master pimp has to be able to ad-lib at any given time. That's why I'm so against robotic scripts. As I was trying to tell my coaching client yesterday, the game with women isn't written in stone. You got to learn to be fluid. When you're talking to women, you got to learn to really be fluid in your conversation skills. Remember, I said Trump won this country because of his game, his word game. I forgot to mention that. Because of his word game. He learned to be more fluid in some situations and very hard in others. With his word game. Number 4, when you don't see those hoes, don't panic. This is actually viable to what we're talking about. You know, he's talking about when you can't find your hoe on the streets, on the track, don't panic. He goes, I know. It feels damn good to ride by and see your crew of hoes. But bitches has to get busy at some point. They shouldn't be there just because you rode by. If they are, those hoes are half-stepping about your paper. But when you do show up and the hoes aren't there, go shoot some pool or something and wait for those bitches to get back. But they better have some paper when they show up. Now, how's it apply to us, players? Players whose females don't text them back right away. What I do wrong, Supreme? I sent her a text 5.6 seconds ago. So many males are not equipped for the higher levels of this game because they haven't conquered themselves. Do you think I ever worried about a bitch that if a bitch wouldn't text me back right away? Females are busy. No, I don't do the wait 3 days shit. No. I make sure my hoes learn the lesson. Go study my training hose information. Training my hoe information where that bitch didn't text me that night. And I punished her. What do you do to punish women? Do I go over there and yell at them? No. I take away what they want. My attention. Did I get up and act all hard and cuss the bitch out or get all emotional and make a ranting post on my forum? I didn't have a forum back then. But some of you guys do that. She don't text me, she didn't text me back in 8.9 seconds. Lack of manhood here. Number 5. Don't be overly excited about getting your paper from the hoe. A master pimp has got to maintain his composure. The sooner you realize the hoes are supposed to pay you, the sooner they will accept it as their destiny. Don't act grateful for the hoe for paying you. And that's when a female decides to bless you. She goes out and buys you something. Okay? What do you guys do? Oh, gosh, thank you. And a simple thank you is enough. Oh, thanks for that. That's very kind of you. Okay? But then start slathering over her. That's what a normal guy does. And puts her on that pedestal in his mind. Wow, she bought me something. No, she's supposed to buy you something. She's supposed to worship her man and slather over her man if you laid your game right in her head. And I'm going to keep using Trump, the game Trump put in these men's heads that I've had to deal with, white and black. Number 6, a pimp has to remember what he says to a hoe. Yeah, definitely sure, for sure. Because a hoe will definitely try to use it against you in the end. A master pimp must remember every promise he makes to his crew of hoes. Don't make promises to your women. He must remember what his position on a particular subject is, yes, and don't change it for another hoe. You shouldn't ever say anything that will trap you in the future. Exactly. It takes a lot of work to be a master, and that is very true. That's why many will not make it to the promised land. You'll be out in the desert, thirsty. Because what does desert produce? Thirst. And to interpret this down to your level of the simple common man, Don't get trapped up by what you blathered out of your mouth to a female. Yeah, I went to the movies on Friday, and then next week, yeah, I was actually I went to the bar Friday, and boom, you got busted. Okay, you got to remember, that's what I learned in the game. Your brain has to be on point, on sharp point. You can't falter. This game takes intelligence and attention to detail. For me being right brain, I had to really pay attention. A pimp has got to see through muddy water and spot dry land. Sometimes shit is extremely thick from problems with these hoes. A master pimp has to see past all of the bullshit coming at him and spot the avenue out of the problem and still get paid. What does that mean to us? You will have murky water in your game out there where you can't see clearly. You have times where you can't see the truth. And that's why I try to get you guys to take the red pill, to wake up, to be able to see truth. Starting with the truth of the game. If you can't see the truth that, like the pun, that women do the truth. Actually, the pun did see the truth, but he chose not to accept the truth and just go because he was slather over women. He didn't learn the truth that when you slather over women, you become a slave yourself. That's why the pun is in the condition of being a slave to himself and his conditions. Okay? I don't know if the pun can see that truth and will admit it, but you guys, now that I've given you this game, look at the pun's game, deal with the same bitches for 2 years, the same issues. And then he has the nerve to send me their photos to slather over their beauty, knowing that I don't slather over the beauty of a female. I'll slather over my own beauty, thank you. I worship myself, not their beauty. As I'm losing weight, I'm worshiping myself a lot, motherfuckers. I'm touching up on myself. Feeling the flatness that's occurring at the top of my abs now. I'm touching right now, motherfuckers. Feels good. Feel the abs underneath. If you can't have the ability to see basically what I talked about, the big picture, the 10,000 mile high view, or be able to see clearly to the context, your game will always suffer. You got to be able to see the truth that women give to you. Again, another Trump correlation. Look how the people who became Trumpers couldn't see the truth. Look how the black people could not even see the truth that the race organizations supported Trump. Or they don't care. Look how they came to my channel spouting Trumpism. Like little bitches, little hoes. My pimp said this and my pimp said that. I say see the truth, then make a clear decision. What side you're going to stand on with that whole situation. If you're white, I understood. Okay? If you're black, I will never understand that. Number 8, a pimp has to remember to face his conversation. To pace his conversation. So many guys try to rush through it, like online conversation, ask for a phone number. My own client fell back to old ways during the week. He still hoe chases. He's from the PUA community. This is one client I'm working with. And I work with that. Telling girls they're beautiful, then trying to ask for a number right afterwards. And did it work for him? No. Sometimes a pimp's mind is going so fast thinking of his conversation until he don't realize he has left the hoe behind. If you're down on a live hoe or even turn out, you want her right up with you when you drop the bomb on her ass about the pimping. Now, this is pimp game. Let's change this as I just did to player game. Okay? He's talking about you guys who are in your heads too much. You're not paying attention to where the female is at or what she's even saying. You don't look for the opportunities to enrich the conversation. The worst thing that I've seen, one of the worst things I've seen in this community, is there were scripts of questions you can ask a girl. That was the worst. If you are one of those people that need a script of questions, you're not even a normal human being, please eject from the game. Do not try to get help. Just go get a mail-order bride and call it a fucking life. Punish an Asian chick with that kind of stuff. I think Asian women are better handled to handle men like that. I see a lot of nerds with Asian wives. And excuse me for my racism against my Asian brothers. I know that hand-to-hand is right brain, which surprised me. I thought Asians were most likely to be left brain, very logical, because the culture is very organized, coming out of China, coming out of Japan. I live in Japan. There are elements of the culture that was very organized, structured. Now they're bucking structure and they're all fucking flip-flopping wild in Japan, but China, mainland China, is not like that. You only allow 2 kids, type of thing, or 1 child, whatever it is. But I guess the structure, I always believe the structure of the society helps create the intelligence, like look at our East Indians, and the personality structure of the individual coming out of it. Number 9, don't be afraid of decisions you have to make. Again, using the pun, he's afraid to dump these females. He didn't listen to what I said to him in our private emails either. He still hasn't done it. Will he? No. Because he never grew to full maturity as a man. He's still on the kiddie shit. But she's beautiful. She's my hottest one. And can't even get a nut with the bitch. Can't even come. I would never sell my dick over some looks. That's what PUAs do. That's what mainstream society males do. I don't see it as much in African Americans, although African Americans, we go for them dimes, but some of the brothers go for the less than dimes. They get in where they can fit in. That's our common theme. Get in where you can fit in. And DePun, being African American, he's of the former. So don't be afraid of decisions you have to make. Now he goes into more of the pimp game. When you have a group of hoes and are confronted with a decision, always have a point of view. And that is true. With your females, always have a point of view. If it's with hoes and your point of view might blow the hoe, fuck her. Exactly. Now I'm not saying for you guys who are nerds, extreme left brain, you yell your opinion at a bitch. Well, I'm a Trump supporter. You're just an idiot. At her. If she supported Hillary. In the player game, we are about schmoozing, which is a Yiddish word. Pacifying. Leading gently in some situations, but leading. Go get another hoe. And I agree with that, though. Always be able to replace a hoe. Or a female, sorry. That's why one bitch is too close to none. Always try to stay deep with hoes. I've told you that. I don't mean 6 like I kept towards the end of my game on average. 13 down to 6. I got wise. But, that's a lot of women to be fucking around with. I told you the story. I tried to see how many girls I could fuck one day. I got to 7. And I still was whacking off. I was a sex addict. As I look back on it. What dumb society would name sex addiction. I thought of it as because, I'm African American. We have a very high sex rate. We're connected to, the universal life force. We're it. And I believe back then that's why God gave us the dicks we have. Or most of us. It's meant to be used. So anyways, continuing. That's why one bitch is too close to none. Always try to sleep it deep in hoes. Make decisions early in the game and often. And never make them according to how many hoes you have. Be committed to the game. That's what I want you to get out of this. Men who half do it, they end up with half a game. You either commit to what I'm teaching or you get half the results. Number 10, and I've got to take a shower and get ready for my to go to work. Don't be a cream puff. When you see tears, okay? Bitches are the best actresses in the world. That's true. Especially hoes. If they can play on your tears, next they'll choose another pimp on your weak ass. You've heard a lot of gurus talk about that shit. You get all moist, she loses respect for you. You Caucasian males who think by bringing her a flower or expressing your love to a female, black guys don't do that shit. So I'm calling you guys out on this one. Writing her poetry, and I'm thinking of all the stuff that I've seen coming out of your group. Trying to have equality. What do you want to do tonight, dear? I don't know. What do you want to do? That's why your women are running from you. That's why your women are running to other races, not dating you or dating the jocks. Okay? And then you whine about bitches are stupid. They don't know what the MGTOWs, they don't know what they want. They go for these thug guys, black dudes, these thugs. No, they don't like your moist ass. Don't sit on the couch crying with them over a sad movie. And I went to Terms of Endearment when I was younger. I had to hold back the tears. I'm not going. I went to a bitch flick with a female because I wanted to see the movie. And I said, all right, I'm done with this shit. Never get it. Had me sniffling up in there. Okay? Never again. And thank God my girl didn't see it. I wiped that shit off real quick. Number 11. Don't pimp past one hoe trying to get another one. And this mainly applies when you're down on a fresh hoe. A lot of niggas take the pimping as a game, and you should be taking your game as a game. Well, not as like a video game. That's what he's trying to refer to. This shit is real. Yes, the game is real. We call it the game. Life is the game. And what he's talking about is like playing mumbly jack or marbles or something, you know. You got to be serious about the game. That's what he's trying to communicate here. Okay? You got to get serious. Don't pimp past another hoe trying to get another one. You're in the club and you're dancing with a chick that's all up in your grill, loving up on you. You see a hotter chick, you stare at them and you slather over them. You don't do that shit. I have to finish this real quick. Let's go to number 12. When you're checking your hoe, you better keep coming up with shit. Checking means, you know, when you got to come down on her. Otherwise, be able to distract her mind from the ass whooping you are giving her. And I don't believe in putting your hands on a female. I believe he's referring to verbal. I don't have any knowledge of him being, the gorilla type pimp. That's where they, put the hands on a female. All the good master pimps say you pimp with your mind. You can do more damage with your mind than your hands, because a lot of bitches are used to an ass whooping from dumbasses out there. And you saw the bus driver knock that black female down. She got up talking shit. Keep bringing up shit to keep her thoughts. Yes, he's on the mind again, on what you are talking about, instead of tripping about what she's thinking about a pimp kicking the shit out of her ass. Okay? So basically, have your game on point. Have your ability to use words. Again, Trump won with just words. No proof of his game. With just words. That's some hustle. That's some pimping right there. Learn how to have more than one hoe. And a lot of Caucasian males struggle with that one. But Supreme, I was raised that you have to worship a girl and you have to be only, monoganistic. You do not realize that you're a damn fool, that you were taught that by your society, by your family, by your church. Back in the days, you yourselves and around the world had more than one wife. all because of the greed of kings, working with the church. We only have one wife now. That's the way it really was. And if you want to get biblical about it, that's the way God intended it. Look at the biblical people. They had more than one wife. So you got sold the okie doke. I don't believe in the Mormon shit though, but I'm trying to tell you that when you're dating in the game, and this is the last one, it's okay to have more than one female. Because what do you think she's doing? I'm not talking about good girls either. Good girls, they want a relationship with a man so they can settle down, have those 2.5 kids, go to PTA while you work your ass off, spend your 50 years at your job, you pass dead 2 years after you retire, and she gets to go on cruises after that with other old ass bitches and look at young men. I'm not talking about that. Okay? It's okay to date more than one girl. It's okay to find out what you actually like in a woman before you settle down, to try them out. Females do it to us all the time. And they trade up. You don't have the right kind of manhood, but you have enough to, she work with for a while. If she can't build it within you, she will trade up. If you can't become the kind of man she needs and wants, she will trade up. But you got that potential, she'll give up eventually and trade up. That's why you come home, find her in bed with someone else. That's why she drops you, and you find out she's with someone else a week later. I've seen the post. I've seen grown men crying like little bitches over they find out the woman had another man. Peace.